Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I am with Mark David. He is a mortgage broker. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the things in the mortgage field. He has quite an array of products that can help you. Sometimes you might just want to go to a bank, but they're limited as what they can offer. So we're just going to dive in, talk to Mark, and find out some of the things he can provide you in the mortgage field, some tricks of the trade, because there's a lot of things that he can offer that others can't, and some ways that he specializes with some people that others can't as well. So, Mark, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Brian. And yeah, thank you for anybody that's listening to this. I think it's so key to first of all say when it comes to the topic of real estate financing, there is so much of the common like one size fits all is just totally not true. We're always customizing different strategies and solutions depending on the person and what their goal is. So I am proud to say, yes, I have a lot of different resources that we can tap into depending on what that challenge is. So yes, we can talk more on those different challenges and solutions here in a moment for sure.
Some of the challenges are, and probably maybe the first one is down payment. I think a lot of people think that if they're going to buy a property, whether it's their primary residence or maybe an investment property, they need 20, 25% down, cash on hand, no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no other options. I bet you can change the story on that, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to that, and we have obviously lots and lots of stats and figures on all these different details, but one of the stats that has been very well proven to be a misunderstanding or a myth is the average person buying real estate right now is not putting 20% down. They're actually putting much less than 20% down. Now, some of that is because that's all they have, but there are quite a few of these cases where it's strategically done that they don't put 20% down. And now what do I mean by that is some of these individuals buying real estate, they're getting some really great expert advice from somebody even like yourself, Brian, or their financial advisors or their CPAs, and they're showing them, and one of the things we show them too, is what else can maybe be done with that money in order for it to work better for them. So the common thing that people are combating to like put 20% down is the evil like private mortgage insurance. Now, keep in mind the private mortgage insurance providers a few years back, they majorly overhauled the premiums to be very weighted in favor of the low risk people. So if you have a pretty low risk profile, higher credit score, not too much debt out there, and you put 10% or more down, they'll actually be charging a pretty low premium. So therefore, why put 20% down if the cost of it is going to be minimal? So now this extra 10%, let's say it's on a $400,000 house and you have this extra $40,000 that you can go put it into some other strategic tools like what you provide, Brian, and other investments or that type of thing. So to answer your question, we have some great options when it comes to that for sure.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, if you don't have to use it all, might as well spread it and have something going on in more places than one. With the mortgage protection, a quick question. Is there a point in time where that drops off, or once you have it, you have to have it all the way through?
With private mortgage insurance, it depends on the specific loan program that the person's doing. So there are some where it's part of the loan the whole time, but many it does come off after a certain period or point where the property reaches a certain equity position. Yeah, so that is something that we have some solutions there. We also have some solutions where people can actually settle it up front and not have the PMI even for 5 years. Again, depends on the scenario if that makes sense or not. And therefore, again, the big cost benefit is like having, I'm just going to use that same example, $40,000 available to make it work harder for you in a different, better place for sure.
I hope you guys are listening that are tuning in. I mean, you can see how much Mark has to offer, all the different options, all the different advice. So he's definitely your go-to guy when it comes to mortgages. Now, one thing I know you do, Mark, you specialize in, there's a couple things since we've been talking and getting together on some meetings on a regular basis, but you really specialize in VA lending, helping the veterans. More, I know from others I've seen, as far as what you do and what you offer. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So yeah, with This topic, of course, I could talk for hours on it. However, one of the big things about the VA program is the behind the scenes structure of how that veteran or that military personnel gets their benefits to be matched up or backed by the VA in order to actually get a home loan. So, what we have done, myself and then our parent company combined, we're a direct VA lender. So, there's no middleman entity in between us. So that in itself is a huge thing compared to most other outlets that a veteran might go to, and they're now playing this telephone game of like two or three middleman entities to get that loan. So that's a big part. And then because of all of that the direct format in itself allows us to do things faster and more efficiently. And we're usually helping more veterans in a month than most help in a year. That scenario, and we're local, so I actually can go visit the property that the veteran is purchasing. I get to be at the closing with the veteran versus doing it through a call center or something like that. So that's a big part of it for sure, Brian.
And that's all cool. And that was another question. It's great that you can do that local, but can you do that around the nation for VA loans and or any other loans?
Correct. Yeah, we operate in all 50 states, so we have an extensive network of physical branches in all 50 states. And then we also partner with thousands of title companies and escrow agents around the country as well. So we do a lot of one-on-one consultations with the clients, thanks to technology like Zoom and other platforms like that. And then we have our hands-on partnerships with people around the country. But we prefer most of it to be local here in our area, of
Sure.
course.
Excellent. Again, folks, Mark has so much to offer. It's not, we get so conditioned to think we have to go down the street to talk to the banker. You have to go down the street to talk to someone else for whatever the thing is. There's a lot of options that Mark offers. And he's the one you need to talk to about any mortgage thing. And I know he's open for any types of questions, even if you have a question on something. He'll answer it for you. No strings attached. You don't got to get the mortgage from him. He's very helpful, very knowledgeable. So the way to get a hold of him is how, Mark?
Direct message us from this video posting. Otherwise, the best number to call me at is 262-644-0656. And we have myself or one of our team members will answer our phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we're happy to talk with you at any point in time.
Sure. Thank you, Al. You want to share your company at all, or?
Yeah, CMG Home Loans is our company. And again, we're local here in the Wisconsin market. But we do operate, like we're just talking about, in all 50 states.
Thanks for your time, Mark. And again, if you have mortgage questions, concerns, or you need something, please reach out to Mark.
Thank you.